So welcome to our second session on Google Data Studio. We're going to show now how to create a calculated field using the same data that we used in session 1. So let's take a look at our data. Here's our report that we were working on. So I'm going to go over to the data source and take a look at the data as it came into our system. And if you notice, I've gone through and corrected the attendance and tardies so that they are now numbers so that we can use them in a calculation. So when I'm ready to do that, I just click on Add a Field and then start to put in the fields that we want to add together. In this case, quarter 1 excused plus quarter 1 unexcused plus quarter 2 excused. So basically, I'm just taking all of the absences and adding them up because I want to be able to do a membership percentage for every student. Quarter 2 unexcused, quarter 3 excused, quarter 3 unexcused, quarter 4, you get the idea, and the last one, quarter 4 unexcused. Okay. Having done that, I just now want to give my field a name, so we're going to call it total underscore absences. And the reason I put the underscore there is that Google Data Studio doesn't always like spaces in field names. So when you'll see that more when you work with SQL databases, but for the purpose of starting that process, I always put an underscore in the name of my field so I don't have a blank. So now I just click Save. And now that's a field that's available to me. If I go back to my workshop report here, you'll notice it's down on the bottom of my screen here. So I'm going to take total absences. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to scroll down a little so you can see. And now we have the total absences from each student listed on our report, in our chart. So I'm just going to open that up a little bit so you can see it better. And there they are. Okay, so these are the absences for the year for this particular student. Now that's not particularly meaningful because I don't know where we are in terms of the school year. So what I want to do is calculate the student's membership. So let me go back to demographics. And I'm going to go back to my fields. And you'll see total absences there. And you'll notice in my report, I have a field called days in session, which really is just equal to what day of the year we are in the school year. So for example, if we're in day 1, it has a 1. If we're in day 180, it has 180. So I believe on this particular date that I'm working in, we're probably in the 140s. So we're going to calculate the student's membership by using the total absences and what day we are in the year. So I'm going to add another field. And if you think about what the formula should look like, it should be the total absences divided by what day we are in the year. And then because that's going to come out as a percentage, let me see if I can multiply that by 100 to make it look a little nicer. Okay. And then we're going to save that. We're going to call it membership. And that'll be the percentage of days the student has been present this year. Having done that, I'm going to go back over to my table in my report. And you'll see that membership is now a field. I'm going to add it to my table. I'm going to remove total absences because that's not so meaningful. And now you see the membership. So Dolly Madison, for example, was present 7.82% of the time. And you could go in and do rounding functions on that to make it a little nicer. But you get the idea that you can create fields from your data that you've already imported. Now, if you go in and import your data again, it becomes a daily process. It will still keep the calculated fields. They will stay within your data element in your data source. So you can update the Google Sheet and still have your data source containing the calculated fields. Hope that's been helpful and look forward to our next session.